Welcome to Janet Russell Presents our newest show, Rescues Are Us, okay? And here I am at the Bating Hollow Farm Vineyard, okay, with the very well-known Dory Schofield. Dory, do you ever sleep?
I never sleep, Janet. Never sleep. There's no room for sleep when you rescue animals.
You sound like me. I am so thrilled to be here. I know we had you on the show yesterday for a different subject matter, but you do so much to help so many. And you know, that unconditional love, it just pours out of you, you know? And I want you, I know we're waiting for Debbie Twist. She's on her way from New Jersey, so hopefully she'll get here. If not, we will interview her at another time and add this in. But this is going to be our first show about rescues. And who else could I get but my friend Dory? Come on. The world knows Dory. You do Save a Pet, you do Guardians of Rescue, and you do Paws
of War.
Paws of War. I always get that one wrong. And so you don't do anything. You sit home, you just relax. I'm telling you, I could just tell. So why don't you tell the audience, because you know this is going to go out to the world, of course, you know that, how you got started with taking care of the babies. I call them the babies. What's your goals for them, which I think is a very important, question. And doesn't that break your heart when you get rid of them? When you give them up? I'd be having them all.
It's, you know what? It is the most rewarding job anybody could ever ask for. It's a calling.
Oh.
I was born a crazy animal lover. I brought everything home from school. My mother and father, God rest their souls, had to put up with me bringing everything home. It's just something that I always wanted to do. I was such an animal lover. I was like the little veterinarian in town at 8 years old.
Aww.
And I always wanted to open an animal rescue center that made animals feel like they're kind of at home. You know, even though they're in a shelter, they are getting that love and unconditional love that they get it from us, but we get it from them.
Oh, yeah.
So much. They're just the best thing since sliced bread.
Now I'm certainly sure you have a few pets home. About how many?
I have 7 dogs.
Okay.
4 of which are Italian Mastiffs, 1 pit bull. They're all rescues, of course, obviously. Chihuahua, and a Shih Tzu, my little Snooky from the North Shore. I also have 20 cats. I have 4 horses.
Do you?
Yeah, we have chickens and rabbits.
Well, I know one day I was talking to you and you said I think you were getting the eggs from the chickens, or you're feeding them or something.
Chickens are awesome pets. Oh my gosh, I love my chickens. Yes.
Wow.
And they're really great, and we get the fresh eggs. They're all rescue chickens. I adopted my chickens from a woman in her late 80s that just couldn't go out in the snow and take care of them because they require a lot of work. And so I adopted them, and I adore them. They're wonderful pets.
So what is your dream? Because dreams do come true, you know that. And I really, and you know what I do, and I got chills, I really feel like what I see you is in a humongous building, bigger than what you have now. And just, oh God, I'm going to cry. So much love.
Bingo. That's my dream, is to move to a bigger facility. I've been wanting it. We really are hand to mouth at Save a Pet. Every animal gets everything they need. The doors could be broken, the windows could be creaky, everything, but we don't sacrifice anything. Everything goes to these animals. So my dream is to get a bigger, more state-of-the-art shelter, because we really do need it.
You know, and I've gone there. I mean, I've got, my cats have been fixed there with Carolyn, God bless her soul, you know. Anybody that ever wants to rescue, wait a minute. Now we've got Save a Pet, this, or the other ones. How did you get involved with the Guardians and the other? How did that?
I got involved with Guardians of Rescue. I've known everybody in Guardians of Rescue for a long time, and I was the supervisor at the Brookhaven Animal Shelter for a few years. And after I left Brookhaven, I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to my Save a Pet. And then I really got lured into all the rescue work that Guardians does, which is amazing. It's just on a grander scale. We work together. Save a Pet is basically the shelter partner for Guardians of Rescue, and just, it's just an amazing energy between the two organizations, and we work hand in hand. Paws of War, which which is a separate organization now, which started out as a program where we match rescue dogs up with veterans who suffer from PTSD and TBI. And whether it's a companion animal, a emotional support animal, or a true service dog, that's where we're at. And we love to provide these dogs for our veterans and cats. We do cats too. There's some claws of war too. And
I like that.
Yes.
That's you into. Okay. Anyway, so if the people want to, basically it's all rescue. Say someone, is getting older, and they need, and how they're like our children. What would you suggest they do? Like there's so many that have to give up the animals, and it's something that we really don't want to do.
That's what we're there for. Well, we do everything we can to keep the animal in the home.
Right.
If you need dog food, cat food, we help with. I have a really hard time saying no. That's why I don't work at the front desk.
I know that.
Because as soon as I'm there and I pick up the phone, I say, bring it in. Well, how old is it?
I know.
All right. It's all right if you don't have any money. And
well, because it's coming from the heart. And I'm on the same level as you. I mean, I want to be veterinarian. I love animals. I mean, I love them better than people. Sorry, guys, but that's where I'm at.
I got a great staff, and I'll say we can't take any more. We cannot take any more cats. We cannot, not. And then I walk in the door, and some guy's there with a carrier, and I'm like, "Who's this? What happened? Oh, he got hit by a horse. All right, we'll take him in." It's very hard. You can't say no, but unfortunately, everything comes with a cost, and we rely on donations. That's the only way we stay alive.
Fundraisers, and you do so much good.
I'm so fundraised out. Oh my gosh.
I know, but you are so blessed with your staff and with the people.
I do. I have wonderful volunteers. My volunteers are, bar none, the best. They come, they walk the dogs, they clean the cat cages, they brush them, they sweep, they mop. We try to make the shelter just such a homey atmosphere.
When you go in there, some of the animals, you can pick up, you can pet. Because I've been there a few times, as you know. The unconditional love, it just shows. It oozes out.
Those little paws come out of the cage and they grab you.
I can't look at them.
They do. Animals give you love that you can't experience anywhere else.
I noticed tonight you have a baby kitten.
We do.
Yes, I saw that.
Yep, this is a little stray kitten that somebody brought in. They didn't want it. It was on their property. I don't know where the mother is. Yeah, it's probably a feral mom that got scared off. But we're bottle feeding her, and she'll get a home. Oh, it's a boy. Is it a boy? I think it's a boy. Yes.
Now you also I was going to say, you get thoroughbred, or what do they call them?
Purebreds, yeah. We do get a lot of purebred animals. Animals come into shelters for all kinds of reasons, and it's no fault of their own. It's never their fault. So don't think a shelter animal has something wrong with it, because it doesn't. People think, oh, well, it's at a shelter. He's probably got behavioral problems. We have trainers. We have behaviorists. We have love. We do everything we can, and we are all about integrity with these animals and where I place them. Well, my plan is to go out of business because I'm not needed.
I like that. That is.
So all the animals are rescued, and I can retire.
Well,
But in the interim, to build our spay-neuter clinic, to be able to house more animals, to have more programs, do more outreach, provide what people need, low-cost services, which it can make or break it. It can make or break the life of an animal. If I don't get the surgery, he's going to die. And God bless, I have such great vets.
Are your veterinarians, do they donate their time as well?
My veterinarian, people think that, and I'm glad you asked that question. Everybody thinks veterinarians will work for free. Some do pro bono work, and I love them and I cherish them for it. But they can't. That's their job, and that's their business. So we do pay, especially for specialty surgeries, which can be anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
If an animal needs an MRI, it's $3,000.
Whoa,
Yeah.
It's just like
So yeah.
is your ideal, like say somebody's watching this and says, hey, you know what, I got a big house and, and a big yard and acres, and I love animals. What would your ideal be? In other words, how big of a property, or is it whatever it is?
Well, it would have to be commercial property that we can have a kennel on.
Okay.
Which there's a lot of commercial properties now that are just sitting there. And it could be a great tax deduction for somebody. So I would love to stay in the Port Jefferson area. That's kind of our home base. But I'm open for options, anything to help the animals. I actually have a young man who I have worked with since he was in junior high school, and he's supposed to be here tonight. Okay. And together we're opening Save a Pet NYC in New York City. Yes. So
is he here tonight?
He's coming. He should be here. He should be here by now.
Well,
and he's awesome.
I think we need to speak with him, if that's okay.
The next generation is ready for rescue.
Because this show is an hour, and and I don't know how long we've been on so far.
Okay.
But I, anybody that you want to bring in, if you want to bring in your staff, I would
love to.
We would love to interview them.
All right, great.
Well, and if
staff and volunteers are so vital to the organization.
Oh my God, that's it.
They're the blood in the veins. I'm telling you, they take such good care of them.
Why don't we take a real quick break? And then bring whomever you want to bring over.
Sounds good.
How's that?
That sounds great.
Great. Okay.
Cut.
Still at the Baiting Hollow Vineyard and Horse Rescue. I know I always get mixed up with some of the words sometimes. And we're still here with Dory. And yes, I promise you, Debbie Twist, and she made it 6 hours. This poor woman, 6 hours. She needs a medal. And then we also have Lynn chauffeur, right? Okay, Lynn is actually the PR public relations, the director of Save a Pet. So I am you don't want to know how blessed we are to have you, Debbie. I mean, you really are. And why don't I'm going to give you the microphone, okay? Because I know that you want Debbie to be the spokesperson. So I think that you might need to fill her in a little bit.
We would love to have Deb be our spokesperson.
Yes.
She is an amazing inspiration. She's not only famous, but has her 18 cats and how many dogs?
4 dogs.
Awesome.
One is a rescue.
Perfect fit for our organization, and we would just be totally honored for you to be our spokesperson. It would be amazing. Even though it took you 6 hours to get here, it's not usually that bad. It's not usually that bad.
I know.
We'll jet set you in.
It's funny because when I think it was you, Lynn, or Carolyn, one of the ladies said, so many famous people. Why don't you find us somebody? And I'm like, bingo! And I called you that night, and I remember I said, Debbie, you are the perfect, especially with the rescues, and not only is she beautiful, she's talented, but she loves those babies. She gets it. So why don't you tell the audience, okay, I know you're not shy at all, about some of your rescues, how you got them, and whatever you want to tell, whatever you like to share.
First of all, this is the most gigantic mic I've ever seen in my life. I feel like I'm in one of those places where you sit in a gigantic chair. I feel like I'm like an infant with a microphone. Well, all my animals have always been rescues, and actually my rescue adventure started with a little beagle dachshund mix that I rescued from the Bark Shelter in Brooklyn in 2007 with my family. My daughter, who was only 3.5 at the time, fell in love with this dog, and my son did, and I did, and then we told my husband all about it, and the only drawback was he was 12 years old. But we were like, but that's who we fell in love with. I mean, you can't plan these things. It was totally driven by our heart. And so we adopted him, and it turned out he had a very bad pancreatic issue and would go into these almost like semi-coma kind of states. And, we'd get him out of it and get better, and it was back and forth. And then it was awful. We only had him 2 years, and he died, and it was traumatic for all of us. And oh yeah, I mean this guy was spoiled rotten. But
an 11-year-old dog.
well, I haven't finished my story. So So immediately, like 3 weeks later, people are like, oh, you have to get, let time heal and everything. I'm like, I'm a mom and I have 2 kids and we can't stop crying about it. And the only thing that's going to take our mind off of it is to like go and rescue someone. So we went to this border collie rescue place but we had a country house in the Poconos, and there's this great border collie rescue place. And we went there, and there were all these amazing border collies. My family couldn't decide, so I closed my eyes and I said, okay, whoever comes to me right now is here. And within seconds, I felt someone sitting on my foot, and I looked down, and there's this like ginger-colored border collie that I had not seen. The woman comes running out, she's like, no, he can't go. He just had surgery this morning. He like burst open the door to come to you. But I'm so sorry. And I'm like, oh, no. This is the one. And at the same time, because I'd been talking to a lot of friends about how sad I was, there was this one girl who said that there was this little dog who was about 7 or 8 months old, and he was a Jack Russell, Papillon, Poodle kind of mix, cute thing. And he was living with a single mom who had just lost her job, and she was going to move in with her mother. Her mother had 2 pit bulls that wanted to eat this guy. So, and she'd been trying for months to bring home him, and nobody would take him, and she had to move. And she had told my friend that she was going to have to take him to the ACC. We all know that that's like shelter. They put them down as fast as they can. And so I was like, no, wait, I'll foster. Yeah, I'm such a fast foster failure. And I got in the car and I picked him up in the Bronx, and I had my border collie in the back seat. Now there's 4 days in between the 2 adoptions. So I go down to my husband's office, and I've got the new dog Gizmo on my lap, and I pull up, and he comes out to the car, and he looks in at me, and he looks at the dog on my lap, and he's like, what did you do? And I'm like, well, it's better to have 2. And then the 3rd and the 4th just came along. Everyone's got a story. And then right around the time of Hurricane Sandy? No, the one right before that. Irene? It was in August, right? It was like 2011.
Is that Gloria?
It was a hurricane. And there was a mama cat. I was working with Angelica Cats Rescue because I was trying to teach my kids about how to care for like those cats that are in shelters and everything. So we would go and we would volunteer and clean out the cages and feed them and socialize them at the different pet homes. And there was this one mama cat that they called me about. She said this woman, Angelica said this cat just had these babies in the shelter, and they're going to euthanize the entire family if someone can't pick them up by 5 o'clock today. And I was like, I'm on my way. And that was the mama cat Butters, and we kept her runt, Rosie. And then it was just one after another. And each one has a story. Every last one of them. We have 2 bottle babies. They really do. But the wonderful thing is, my husband is deathly allergic to cats. When he met me, I had cats, and I said, well, leaving my roommate with 3 of the cats, but he's one that is really attached to me. I'm bringing him. And, if you can't have me with a cat, you can't have me at all. And he's like, okay, I'll figure it out. And I found this great stuff called Dream Coat. And it's this oil that you put, it's really good for the animals, and it's used for dogs and cats, but you put it on the cat's food, and it creates an oily scalp for the animals so that there's no damage. And then, so my husband did slowly build up to when he first had a baby cat. And it was really an incredible thing, and he's then become a lot allergic. And every cat comes in and you one. It takes him about 3 or 4 weeks to develop an immunity, and he does. And so now that I've reached capacity in my house, I say that fine line of order here. But I figure as long as the litter boxes are clean and everyone's healthy, I'm not going to say official order. But I really wanted other rescues and help try to find homes for these amazing animals. Every heartbeat that is not human in my house
would be dead if I did not have them in my home. So, right, exactly. And that's why I'm so excited when Janet told me about it. Because to me, that's how we evolve as human beings. To have compassion for each other, every little being. And we're all sentient beings, every last thing. My kids, they won't even kill bugs anymore. I love that. No, and I think that's, we catch flies and we put them outside.
So we are so thrilled to have you here. And certainly sure that these fabulous ladies would be a part of it.
I'm so excited.
Why don't you tell a little bit about, what you do here and say that everybody is rescued because there's three but you know what? That's what it is. We're all like-minded people. Love the animals, unconditional love, and there's no coincidences. I think today when I thought I was bringing one of my cats to get fixed. The baby. I call him a feral, of course. I call him white blue. Don't ask me why. I have white blue. I just taste it. And I love it. Well, that's just something. He's the male amongst the five. But, when we were talking, and I think we had just maybe finished your movie, Cry for Me, we gotta get a little, and many others that Kevin does. You came up to me and said, so many people, and I'm like, bingo! And Debbie was the first person to Oh yeah, and she drove out. She came out from New Jersey. She arrived. And
it's hard to tell. I know. That's why I'm here.
So I think between all of the ladies working together, I feel that shows they don't population yet, and I get that. We talked earlier before we got here, myself and Jory, about how she needs to expand and get a larger place because you've been there. It's fabulous, but and I said to her, maybe someone will donate a home, donate. You just never know. There are animal lovers. This is my one friend who passed. We talked earlier about another she donated her house to the cats. But that's not my
And people, even if they donate real estate, that you can't use for
Oh, yes.
And I think there'll be other days so that you can make it for those animals.
Well, that's the all right, so I think we may be close to an hour. This is going to be our first rescue. I so want my friend here to be fellow, so if she can work it out, she will be the fellow. But also, do you have some last thoughts?
I know, you're not
Well, I think what Deb said, teaching compassion, I totally believe that to be the change you wish to see in the world. Famous Gandhi said, and I live by those words every day, because the only thing that holds me from all the sticker and these animals have no value to be their voice. We're so thankful for everybody who volunteers and donates, our staff. We just love these animals. There's no agenda but to help them get to the homes that they deserve.
So that's nice. And we would you like to tell what your dreams are?
My dreams are to get a bigger shelter, to be able to help the animals, what we do, and hopefully eventually all shelters will be out of business with their own people. That's what our dream is.
And Deb, your dream about what you...
There's a Facebook page that I follow, and I'm a big proponent of, and that's No Kill. And I think the goal in this country should be that there's no shelter that kills animals, healthy animals that are completely adoptable. And the only way that can happen is if the awareness is elevated a bit regarding the way there are so many wonderful animals in shelters, and we need to be able to show that they're like purebreds. I know people that still will go to a breeder or a pet store. For fun, I walked with my daughter into a city park on 8th Avenue in Manhattan, and we overheard this guy saying to these people that were looking at a dog, it was $42.50, and my daughter looked at me and said, $42.50. And then the guy, obviously the people asking about the dog, and asked the same question. He said, no, $4,250. And I'm like, do you know how many dogs we've saved? And I turned to my daughter and I said, that is disgusting. We're out of here. Like, I didn't even want to stand there and look at it. And they said, have the signs, oh, none of our dogs are puppy milk. Because now it's becoming like a known thing about the puppy milk. It's like, yeah, you make sure you don't say that. But, it's really important to adopt from shelter.
There are laws, but
Exactly.
there's too many loopholes in the laws. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah,
It
well,
really
I think
is.
that
The pet store and puppy milk problem is, it's horrific. It's a horrific industry.
when you can get a loving animal that can be a parent, with a and come to save the cat.
I like to rescue.
Yeah, can I say one more thing? One thing that I've heard from people that keep saying that they're going to go to a breeder or a pet store is there's this old-fashioned kind of mentality that dogs that are in shelters are damaged. And that is one thing that I
Something must be wrong with us.
and I would love to show in this thing, there's got to be animals on the show, and we've got to show them. It's really important to tell their stories. It's far more important to have the animals on than me. Really, to me. Really, no, but it's like, if we show people how beautiful these guys are and where they came from and tell their stories, that's the key.
That's why I want to do this. It's so important. You're talking about it.
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell the audience how to get in touch with you?
They can come down and see us. We're at 608 Route 112 in Port Jefferson Station, or they can call us 631-473-6333, or go to our website, saveapetli.org.
And then would you like to give a little insight as well? And then I think we're going to go out and maybe you can introduce Debbie to the audience.
Do I get to meet the animal?
No,
Of course. The only thing I can say is if you help to support us and donate to us, we can continue our mission, saving lives and helping the helpless.
And Debbie, your thought.
Save pets.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
want to be a superhero for animals.
Oh, I love it. That's
all I want.
So much. Well, ladies, if we go outside now, we'll take would you do something that's okay? You're right.
Everybody, I'd like to give you a attention for a moment, please. We are thrilled and honored to introduce Deb Twist, who is a famous actress. She has been on Blue Bloods, a movie called Kick-Ass, and another one, A Cry From Within, and many others. She has graciously agreed to become our spokesperson for Save a Pet, and we could not be happier.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's all about the babies.
So, everybody give her a big round, please.
Took her 6 hours to get here tonight, so thank you so much, Deb. She's got our little baby here, one of our little bottle babies, as you can see. And there's many more where they came from, so your help is so much appreciated, Deb. And we're going to take Save a Pet to another level with Deb's help, so thank you so much. Thank you. I also want to introduce my friend Chris McNamara, who is an amazing guy, dedicated, one of our veterans, one of our heroes, and I'd like to bring him up here.
Here. Sit. Hey guys, I just want to say every year, first of all, I'm a veteran from the U.S. Air Force, and very proud. You know, a lot of the guys here in Dallas I've gotten to meet recently, and we've done, I was over in the Middle East in Desert Storm, and I was a dog handler, so obviously I got a great respect for animals, and I always say if you don't like a dog, you probably have no soul. So I do a fundraiser every year for several charities, one of them including the Wounded Warrior Project, and every year we pick another charity that we try to raise funds for to help out of a cause that we believe in, that we, and we're really trying to help Long Island-based charities. So when I met Rob and Dory at the Smithtown, sit. You're supposed to listen. You can look bad, thank you. And I met them at the Sayville Running Club, and we were doing the Smithtown Suffolk County Marathon. I told them, let me see what I could do. So we looked into it. So we added them as a charity. We looked it up, and I was very happy and impressed with Save a Pet does, as well as one of their other charities, which is Cause of War, which helps the servicemen coming back home with dogs. So it's a great cause. So I wanted to give them a check tonight for $25,000. I think we got a couple more grand coming, but I got cleared to at least give this much for us. All right, and I'm really helpful, and thank you all for coming out tonight and supporting such a great cause. And obviously you all love animals, which is really important. Thank you very much, and have a great night.
Thank you, Chris. Now we can help match up more veterans and rescue dogs to become their companions, their emotional support dogs, their service dogs. So thank you so much. We spent a lot of money on training these dogs, a lot of money on medical for these dogs. So every donation is truly appreciated, and thank you so much. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you to everybody who supports our rescued animals. Like Chris says, if you don't like a dog, you don't have a soul. So thank you so much. And play blackjack and buy raffle tickets, because we're gonna pull them soon, and we're just gonna. Are we gonna read them off, or are we gonna? At 9 o'clock, we're gonna pull the tickets, put them on there. We're gonna stick them right on. So go see if you want something. Is the easiest way to do it. So, a lot of really great things. We have animals here for adoption. These two dogs here are Daisy and Lucy. Lucy was from Grand Bahama Island. She was considered a pot cake just a beach dog, a stray. They killed him, and I have a very good friend there who started a rescue organization, and we brought Lucy to the United States. And Daisy's originally from North Shore Animal League, but when they had to give them up, we decided to take both of them in hopes that we'll get them adopted together. And Em, pick up the baby. This is a little Harlequin pit bull female. What's the name of her?
Harlequin.
What is it?
Harlequin.
Harlequin. Very original. Harley. She's only about 12 weeks old, and we get a lot of pit bulls from a lot of horrible situations, but as you can see, they are what you make them, and she's going to be an awesome dog because I have a feeling this little family right here might snatch her up. But we have tons of dogs and cats for adoption. Some of our alumni are here. I saw Ali. There's many dogs that we've rescued that are here, and we can find any breed. So don't think that you can't find a purebred dog at a shelter, because you absolutely can. So tonight I want everybody to buy raffles. We have some great raffle prizes. Everybody can buy them. Doesn't matter if you're part of Mutts Merlot. And we have a great blackjack table. All the proceeds go to saving the lives of the orphaned animals at Save a Pet. So enjoy. Thank you so much for coming. And let's save some lives. Thank you.
Deborah?
So it cries sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get in a substitution. And I pray, oh my God, I pray to say for evolution, yeah. And so it cries sometimes when I'm
Stay far away. All right, so why don't you introduce yourself and tell me what your project was?
Okay, my name is Michael Arboy and I directed the bistro.
My name is Judy Samuelman and I was in the bistro and mommy.
My name is Mo Sabata and I co-wrote and produced and directed Eye to Eye.
I'm Drew Hamilton, I was the psycho in Make It Nice. I'm Aldo Warshaw and I wrote Make It Nice.
So this is for whoever wants it. Why don't you tell us what your inspiration was when putting together your project?
My project, I just wanted to bring back like an old school type of comedy, like, you know, Three's Company and that type of comedy you don't see often. So I just wanted to have like a wholesome kind of funny throwback to like the 80s type of thing.
With Mommy, I produced it and I was in it, and we wanted to do a short that told a story. Usually, shorts are like, 3 minutes, how much can you do? And it's like a trailer, and we were able to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, so it was pretty intriguing to capture that much information in 3 minutes. So that was my reason for doing Mommy.
My reason for doing that is just to simply put, sometimes we look at someone that we care about and that we love, and I figured, wouldn't it be interesting just to play with the idea that that person never gets old? That I would still see that person that I fell in love with as that 16, that 18, that 21-year-old that really turned me on, as opposed to that 65, that 85 person that's getting a little older. That's what I explored.
It's your movie.
All right, very well. Originally, Make It Nice was basically a vehicle for me to showcase one of my blood effects. I've been in the special effects business for almost 30 years now. So when we did this, it was basically written and directed and completely filmed within 24 hours. Little did I know that we were going to have that much fun and really get off on it. And yeah, that is my bad.
Interesting choice of words there.
Yeah, so yeah, we made that squeaky toy really work.
I also directed it.
I just want to say, Judy, also that project was one of the films that got into Project Greenlight, not the actual, but like the final. So
I have a question. I like Mommy, but I didn't understand the story.
Oh, okay. Okay, Mommy actually out of 26,000 submissions for Project Greenlight, it made the top 200 because they wanted you. What was intriguing to me, it's like there was no dialogue. It was just looking at John Thomason, the actor, telling the story. So he's working on his computer and he thinks his baby is safe and sound in his room. And he was about to go up there, he hears the baby crying. But then with the baby monitor, he thinks his wife is taking care of the baby. He hears the lullaby. When I walk in, I'm the mommy. So was it a memory? Is it, something happened to the baby? Did the baby get kidnapped? So it's just like just a thriller, just to see what anything can happen. He has so many different kind of endings. It could be a memory, and he's having flashbacks of when he was happily. Maybe something happened to the baby. So there's so many different directions that it can go on. So does that make sense to you, Fred?
Yeah. It was very well done. I was very entertained. I just didn't understand the story.
He was Mark Rio, who I love from The Majors, and John Thomason was the actor. I mean, he has George Clooney, that visual, just so charismatic, and he didn't say a word, and he was so charming in the film. So I have to say a big shout out to Andrew Henriquez for putting this part of his first annual, and also we have to wish him, we did it before, but a lot of people weren't here yet, a happy birthday. Today is his birthday, so let's
should we all sing happy birthday?
I say let's do it.
I say on the count of 3 we all sing happy
do it
birthday to
again.
Andrew. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Send my happy birthday to you. More happy birthday, dear Andrew. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? On the 3.
Are there any more audience questions?
Julia, what I got, you said the 2 things that you said. What I got out of that ending was that there was somebody else in the room with the baby. That's what I got out of that.
Correct. He thought his wife was in the bedroom with his.
What I got out of it, like.
Yeah, so I came home and I was pissed because when we were shooting, it's funny. We also did it in 48 hours because it was a Project Greenlight, so we had 48 hours to shoot it, produce it. It seems like it's only 3 minutes, and it would take 3 minutes, but 3 minutes of film time, as you guys know, can take days to get it done. And then the post as well, getting it edited, and the music composition to it. So the premise could be that, yeah, he thought the baby was safe and sound with me at home.
Right.
And then when I walked in with the groceries, I was pissed. I'm like, he didn't, hear me come in and he's not helping me. So it could be, again, a flashback, because that's what we used as a period piece with the baby monitor. Today's baby monitors, you can see them. So we'd have to get an old school baby monitor so you wouldn't be able to see it, so it would make more sense. Is it a flashback? Is he thinking he hears the baby? So it can go many different ways. So we actually want to make it our feature. And just so you guys know, that's probably the baby was so crazy it grew up to be Drew. And he went on that bad date because maybe mommy wasn't very kind to him. So I don't know.
Nice, mommy.
Can someone walk me to my car this evening?
Drew, why don't you tell me your reaction when you first read the script? Drew got the script on the day of film, like, so he never read it before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we show up in Waldo's backyard to film this, and I didn't have too much of an idea what the film was. And Andrew actually has a picture of me reading the script, and I'm like, okay. And meanwhile, I had a barbecue to go to, later on in the day. And I was like, okay, we'll film this. And to make it look realistic, obviously, you really have to go deep into your head. And it's scary. And it's like, I get bored to start watching it than when I was actually doing it. But after we filmed it and we wrapped, I had to use Waldo's shower to clean myself. We all did. I showed up at the barbecue. I stayed for one drink and went home after 10 minutes. I was in such a bad mindset after that. It's it really was disturbing. And it comes across and people are like, what, you want method acting? No! No, I wasn't.
How many people came up to you and asked you, hey, J.K. Simmons, can I have your autograph?
I've been getting that so much lately. I'm hoping I can play, hopefully, a younger version of him or a stunt double. But it's we are brothers.
I want to.
Okay. Welcome everybody to day 2 of the first annual Global Revolution Film Festival. I'm your Q&A hostess with the mostest, Tracy. Hi. And I'm here with
Greg Persino.
And you had various roles in The Projectionist, which I love the homage to the throwback to the old films.
The classic films, yeah.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
Try to get it as close as possible to their actual scenes and recreating them. And a lot of work, but it was fun.
Yeah, it looks like it, and I definitely appreciate it as a film buff myself.
Right.
I'm sure everybody else here did too. What was your favorite part of making this?
Actually putting it all together, trying to make it work. You start out with a script, with an idea, a script, you write it down, and you're constantly going over the script. Every time you take your script, you look at it, you wind up making changes and stuff. But finally I got that done and put down, so I'm not touching it no more until I'm ready to do the film. And then casting the people, and I did know who I had in mind when I was writing, because I knew who could do what, and that helps out a lot. So you don't have to cast that much, And then getting the cooperation from a lot of people, and they all work together. We had some bad times, and a lot of times things happen, like the airplane scene. When I approached the guy, he was willing to help me out, but he says, Greg, I can only do it on Wednesdays and Sundays. I said, okay, Ace, but if we do it on Sunday, there'll be other people down here with their planes, it might be too crowded. So he goes, okay, we'll do it on Wednesdays. It rained 13 Wednesdays in a row before I could shoot that. So things like that happen. And the Midnight Cowboy scene went across on the street with the cab. I got permits in the village to shoot it. There's a location to make it look like Manhattan a little bit. And the last minute, the police called me and told me that I needed them to shoot the scene, and it's a stunt and all this other stuff. I said, what are you talking about? And they wanted money. I was going to run over like $800-something just for 4 hours, and if it rained, I still got to pay the fee. So I said, that's not happening. So we guerrillaed it. One Sunday morning, we ran in the city, and what it was, I Googled it first, the section that I wanted to shoot at. I said, okay, we're gonna go there, we're gonna meet there, we go. So we go there. When I get to the section on Broadway in Lower Manhattan, there's construction scaffolding all over the place. So you gotta be kidding me. So I had to run up like 3 or 4 blocks north, and we shot it up there. And what was funny about it was, it's on a Sunday, and it's like not even 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, where's all these people going? You know, they should be home in bed having a late breakfast, I thought. You know, so we had like a lot of people, so you couldn't shoot because the camera guy was across the street and the actors were on this side, and there was too many people from time to time blocking it, so you just had to wait till it was right. Then I had the cab over here with its flashes on, then I had a traffic light. So it's like, when it was ready, I had to say, action, go, as I conducted an orchestra, get everything going at the same time. But it was fun. Then like, you had to complete something like that, you go, wow, it worked, you made it work. I like that.
Oh, yeah, and it was very authentic. I think it worked out really well because it was very authentic.
Yeah, matter of fact, those people were oblivious, they had no clue what was going on, you know, and whatnot. And that was great about it. The
I was
perfect
going to ask you,
background.
the people in the background, were they extras or they were just people?
There were just
Oh,
people
wow.
out there in the morning, you know?
That's
But
great.
when I was gonna have the people come down, I had 25 extras coming down, I ordered coffee and bagels for everybody, but then the police department screwed it all up, so then I had to go to the city. And I got a better take in the city than I would if I tried to set it up myself, I thought, you know?
Oh, it looked
Yeah.
great. It looked wonderful.
And the Casablanca scene, at the end, I went to the airport, Republic Airport, right across the street, and somebody was willing to help me out, so I went outside and says, here's what we're gonna do, we'll shoot this way towards the runway. She goes, you can't shoot towards the runway. I said, why? She said, the DOT won't allow it, and you need a $3 million insurance policy. I went, well, I guess they ain't doing that here. So we shot that in front of a green screen, and then like 2 o'clock in the morning, I went across the street over there, stuck my camera in the fence. I was filming the buildings in the background. And if you look at that scene, I wanted to get some lights towards the runway. Those buildings, we actually flipped them upside down to get the lights to look like they came on the ground. You never know those buildings are upside down.
Oh, wow. I mean, yeah, that sounds like the most challenging short I've ever heard of to shoot, but it worked out really, really well for you.
Yeah, it was fun. And the on the waterfront scene in the car, that was like, that was a really good scene. I really enjoyed doing that scene. That was filmed at the Cradle of Aviation in Garden City. You go in there, they got these planes all over the place. This one car was sitting underneath this big plane, so I said, we gotta use that. So what I did was, I went to the art store the night before, and we were shooting in black and white. I bought this here, plastic, we sliced it up, sprayed it gray, which in this real scene, there's blinds in the car. So I had to recreate the blinds. And then I had my wife stand on the outside of the car with those old-fashioned lights, 8mm movie projectors, so that she would take them and just, like with the same motion, at the same speed, and then flip them up towards the car, flip them down, so it looks like the car's driving at night past the streetlights, you know? That's like old school, I like that.
Oh, wow. My goodness.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a lot
I
of
mean,
fun.
it sounds like it. What can we look forward from you, actually,
Well,
in the future?
I do have a script that's already written, it's a love story short, but again, you need money to put it together. I'm also working with the libraries, trying to get a special section made just for local and independent filmmakers. So when you go in there to rent the DVDs, they have one section just for us, to try to bring attention to the filmmakers here on Long Island. And starting with Farmingdale, I'm hoping to spread out, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, audio was going to open it up. Janet, you have a question?
Greg, how long did that take you to do that, from start to finish?
You know, the hardest part is coordinating everybody's times. People
Yeah.
are working, they can only do this one could be here, you can't do that. So I guess it was like, maybe almost, I'd say 9 months maybe.
That wasn't bad.
That was trying to get everything set up and whatnot, then the editing process, you know, then things like that, but,
And Belmore Theater allowed you to do that, that was great.
Excuse me?
Belmore Theater allowed you to
yes,
do that, that
Belmont,
was great.
yeah. Henry and Ann, the one
Yeah.
Theater, they helped me out a lot. And matter of fact, it was funny because I had the people, the usher, my son was the usher.
Oh, really?
With the blue shirt and the black vest and tie. I had, my cousin was one of the girls behind the counter with their vest and my friend's wife, Juanita. So I told Ann, who owns the theater, I said, you gonna start making your people wear these uniforms now? You know?
Great job. Good.
Any other audience questions?
Yes. Where did you get the inspiration to make films? Like, where did that come from?
Okay, I had 2 cable shows, and I worked with people in the public access doing their shows for like a long time, since '98. 97, somewhere around there. So I was going to all the film festivals all the time, every year. And I'm listening to people like myself right now get up on the stage talking about what they went through to do it. I said, you know what? I want to make a movie. I can do this. So I just had to get an idea. And all of a sudden, this thing popped up in my head. I like Twilight Zone type stuff. So I said, let me start writing. And once I started writing, it just kept going, you know. And I like the acting. I like old movies. So it all kind of just came together. And basically, the projectionist is a frustrated actor, even though he's a movie projectionist, and he gets his wish. He's in films.
Yeah, I almost feel like the Belmore movie theater is haunted. Any projectionist that takes that position, they're doomed.
It is. I did an event there. It is haunted.
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun. I just hope there's some more stuff, you know.
Oh, well, I hope to see some more stuff from you, and I'm sure we all can agree. So thank you so much for premiering here, and let's give a
Thanks,
round of
Andrew.
applause.
Appreciate it, Andrew.